the chairman of Pharmaceutical Corporation. Sir, are you there?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. My first question, just for the record, you are the chairman of Pharmaceutical Corporation, is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that's correct.
Yes, and it was incorporated in September 2019. Is that the correct statement?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that's correct.
Yes, and in the 2020 audited financial statements, you submitted that your total assets in cash is 599,450 pesos. This is reflected in your 2020 audited financial statements. Is that correct?
Fine.
I am showing you the a copy of what you submitted as your audited financial statement.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that's the number reflected in our
Thank you.
financial statement.
Thank you. In the same manner, let me show you what you submitted. No? I couldn't see anything like loans or disclosed loans in the 2020 audited financial statements. Not let me go to last hearing. Last hearing, in the Blue Ribbon Committee hearing, September 7.
Excuse me, Senator Villar, I didn't mind to want to disturb your train of thought. There's an echo coming in. It sounds like a Chinese guy is interpreting. Do you have an earpiece, Mr. Wang?
Mr. Chairman, I don't need an interpreter. I'm fluent in English. I think
What about that headphones? Is somebody dictating to you what the answers you're going to be giving?
no one. I think it's coming from this from my screen. It seems it's DOH 10 director Joe. So there's some noise coming from there, not me.
Okay. Will everybody please unmute, or rather mute DOH 10? I can see Director Jose RL. Can you unmute, please? Or rather, can you go to mute? Lacuna? Jose Lacuna, please mute. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Senator. I want them to.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Thank you very much. So last hearing, let me just point this out. Last hearing, I was reading at the transcript of the last hearing. Mr. Lau made mention, hindi po, when a question was asked whether advance payment was made by the government to Pharmaceutical Corporation before delivery of goods. And Mr. Lau answered saying no. Despite we are authorized to make advance payments, we constrain ourselves from paying advance payments. In fact, we only paid full payment to Pharmaly after full delivery, after inspection, and after acceptance by DOH. Now, my question, sir, being the chairman of Pharmaceutical Corp, how did you finance the April 14, 2020 initial order of 2.4 million pieces of face masks totaling 54 million pesos? Again, as I showed you earlier, I did not see any loans, financial loans in your audited financial statements submitted by Pharmaly.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. To answer the question, when I first started when we started company with my partners in Pharmaceutical Corporation, the goal, we were a startup. We didn't envision the need to infuse a lot of capitalization, as the primary business was to introduce good pharma companies to come invest in the Philippines. So that is that. But
Mr. Chairman, you are not answering my question. My only question is, how did you finance? Because it is very clear. I showed you earlier, 599,000. You submitted your 2020 audited financial statement, 598,000. You and Mr. Lau said they only paid you after the inspection and acceptance by DOH. This is just the first order, Mr. Chairman. First order amounting to 54 million pesos in April 14, 2020. So I wonder, where did you get the money?
To answer your question, Mr. Chairman, we have access to the inventories of our suppliers. And what we do is we negotiate preferential payment terms with these suppliers, so that we can get the stock at hand.
Mr. Chairman, let me just place this on record. If I may show you the audited financial statements, it doesn't say anything about your inventory. In fact, if you look at the 2019 up to 2020, there's nothing, Mr. Chairman. I just want to put that on record. Another question that I'd like to ask there.
What
Nothing.
is the answer?
Permission of,
What is the answer?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, when I refer to inventories, I didn't refer to the company's inventories. We have access to the suppliers' inventories, so that we can relocate these supplies to deliver first. So,
Which was not reflected, Mr. Chairman, in their 2020 audited financial statement. Again, Mr. Chairman, if you look at the supplies, the inventory, it's not there, Mr. Chairman. As I made mention earlier, this is just the first order. 54 million, may mga succeeding orders po ho, no? Let me just continue, Mr. Chairman, no? Let me ask
Mr. Chairman, with the indulgence of Sen Joel,
yes, the chair,
with the indulgence of Sen Joel.
please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
with the permission of Senator Joel, Senator Tiveros,
Sen Joel.
try to let our colleague finish, because I think unless you have something really paramount to come in, go ahead.
Directly related.
Well, he may be laying the predicate for that question, so I would like to ask you to let him finish, so you can come in later and I will allow you. Okay? Is that okay with you?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thought he was moving to another question earlier. But if not Sen Joel, then I will. It was a follow-up to the question that you had just asked.
Can we let him finish and then you can make the follow-up? I will allow follow-up. Thank you. Go ahead, Senator Joel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Senrisa. I would just like to lay the predicate here. No, another question that I'd like to ask is, if you have employees at Farmally, sir, how many employees do you have?
yes, Mr. Chairman, we have 7 full-time employees. While during the course of our transactions, we employ ad hoc employees, so that the deliveries are timely delivered.
Just 7, Mr. Chairman. Just 7 employees.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have 7 full-time employees on our payroll. But to facilitate with all the deliveries, we do hire ad hoc employees in terms of packing and deliveries. So we are very nimble in that aspect.
Okay, 7 full-time employees plus probably you hire a contract of service job order employees. Do you pay SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig contributions, Chairman Chu Yen?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. But for our full-time
Yes.
employees, I think we believe we pay all the necessary benefits.
That's what you believe, sir, no? Because I have documents here stating that you have 0 contribution to government mandated contributions of PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, and SSS. And so at this juncture, Mr. Chairman, may I request the committee to request, if not subpoena, this documents showing proof, Mr. Chairman, showing proof of payment by Farmally of government mandated contributions.
Let me understand. You're asking him to submit documents of proof of payment.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, because I have
Yes.
documents here, Mr. Chairman, that states that Farmally did not pay or contribute, Mr. Chairman, to this government mandated contributions, SSS.
I think the gentleman is well within his rights to confront him with your statement, and if he says no, then he's lying. So can you show him the document that says he's not been paying? They're not been paying?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
It is the same document that we received, Mr. Chairman, from the Blue Ribbon Committee. And as I asked the question a while ago, the chairman of Farmally made mention that they are paying.
That's correct.
The SSS and the Pag-ibig and the PhilHealth, Mr. Chairman.
If he approved to the contrary, you just confronted him, and if he says yes, then he could be liable for false testimony.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have here with me, Mr. Chairman, but I am not sure if I'm allowed to share this in public. But with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I can show it.
Go ahead.
That if you look at the annual income tax return, Mr. Chairman, the SSS, GSIS, PhilHealth, zero po ito, Mr. Chairman. We can show it if you may.
All right. You have been confronted with that incontrovertible proof that you have not paid your contributions. What do you say, Mr. Wang?
Mr. Chairman, allow me time to collect the records from our company to show that we do, as I recall, our company do pay for this welfare. But let me provide and collect these records to counter that statement.
Well, you've been confronted with your income tax payments, which include all your expenses, including GSIS, SSS, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Senator Villanueva?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
I think the certified public accountant is here. I will give you all the, what is her name? Will the CPA of Armali please speak up?
Illuminada.
Yeah. Ms. Illuminada. Ms. Illuminada Sebial.
Trivial, opo.
Nagbabayad po ba ng SSS, GSIS, or SSS, hindi GSIS, SSS at saka yung tinatawag natin pag-ibig? Yes, Mr. Bial, please answer the question.
I will check there, sir. I will check after this, sir.
Excuse me?
I will check po.
I'm sorry.
I
She will check.
po that
She will
record.
check.
I will check. Would you mind taking your mask off? Ikaw lang ba nandyan? Para hindi tayo ma-fold. Yan.
I will check the record, sir.
Mr. Chairman, can I make a manifestation? This is Senator Villar.
Yes. You're recognized.
Okay. You know, I'm in business. Minsan kasi yung kumpanya, distributor lang of a bigger company in China. So you cannot expect them to be big, but they can deliver a lot of products because they are doing it in behalf of a bigger company in China. They don't really have to pay. They just get a commission for what they're doing. So we just make sure that this Pharmally is really an operating company that takes the risk, or they're just distributor from China. Kasi yung mga nadinig ko before, parang nanggaling sa China yung mga product, parang sila lang dito sa Pilipinas ang nag-bid, ganon. But actually, the one providing the capital is the bigger company in China. So,
But Senator Villar,
it's really a model also, and that should be considered also. Kaya hindi kailangan malaking-malaki yung kumpanya dito kung sila ay distributor lang na isang malaking kumpanya sa China na yung taga-China ang nag-finance ng lahat ng mga product nila na ibebenta dito sa Pilipinas. I just want to clarify that because that is a business model also. So I just want to clarify if that's how they do their business or they're really the supplier. I'm just kasi nasa business tayo, nakikita natin yung ibang kumpanya ganyan. Hindi naman sila malaki sa Pilipinas. They're just representing a big company in China that wants to do business in the Philippines. I just want to have it clarified para maliwanag tayo. Or they're the one doing it, or they're representing a big company in China. That's all. Thank you very much.